Well, it's kind of sad, folks. Summer is coming to an end here in the Pacific Northwest, but that doesn't mean our racing schedule is going to be slowing down at all. We have a huge Labor Day weekend planned out, 4 nights of action with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series in Washington, 3 of those being at the Skagit Speedway for the Sagefruit Skagit Nationals, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we head on over to the Grays Harbor Raceway in Elma, Washington to finish off the weekend. But welcome back to the YouTube channel. Happy to have you guys hanging out with us here today. Now, in today's show, we are going to be covering, obviously, this upcoming weekend with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, my team's preparation in the form of, getting the car ready, dropping the engine in, getting the trailer loaded, making sure we have everything we need to be successful this weekend. Also, I'd like to inform you about some of the details of the race, and then if you stay tuned to the end of the video, we have a small giveaway. Well, I think it would be best to start off with some of the key details. 4 nights of racing in the state of Washington with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. The first 3 being at the Skagit Speedway for the Sagefruit Skagit Nationals. And the first 2 nights of that national race are just standard World of Outlaw payout. I believe $10,000 to win, $1,000 to start. And then the third night, the finale, pays $25,000 to win, so they definitely upped the purse from previous years. And really cool for Skagit and World Racing Group to make a big show in the Pacific Northwest. I know it's not probably going to draw really any more cars, but it is cool to have a lot more money on the line for a race. And then we go from the top of the state back down south and then over towards the Pacific Ocean to compete at the Grays Harbor Raceway for a Labor Day show, standard World of Outlaw purse, and that will be the final night of that 4-race stretch. To kind of get started with some of our preparation and what we had to do to get our race car ready, it all started this last Sunday here in the race shop when we dropped our 410 engine in the car. So we got it in there, tightened it up, and plumbed correctly. Now, if you guys think back to just a couple of weeks ago when we were in Knoxville, Iowa, we were having problems with our 410 overheating, and really like the last half of that trip with the All-Stars, we were just having trouble in general, which we talked about sending that engine back, which is what we are currently getting ready to do. And actually, the engine that is in this car for this 4-race stretch is our backup 410. So hopefully it runs good around the 1/3 Clay Mile Oval there in Skagit. That place is pretty fast, so I know we're definitely going to be on the gas. And then the Grays Harbor Raceway, honestly, that place is pretty quick too. It just all depends on how they work it and how slick it's going to get, because then it could slow down a little bit, or it could keep a really fast pace if it stays around the high side. So once the engine was in the car, it was time to fire it up down our driveway. Now, I've never really talked about it, but we have a perfect situation for firing any type of race car, whether that's our Outlaw car, our limited 360 or 410 sprint car. Just push it down to the end, use our old blue pickup because it has like a sort of front bumper. I guess you just can't mess it up. You obviously don't want to use a newer vehicle. Get the tires to turn over, do the process, and get it fired up to make sure it runs. I know I've done it many times in the past. Obviously, every single time we go to the track, we fire up the car. We fired it many times down the driveway. But every single time I'm in the seat and I turn the fuel on, I flip the mag on, I just get that same feeling. There is truly nothing like firing up a sprint car, whether it's a limited 305, 360, or 410. So that's a treat. So that thing sounded absolutely phenomenal. We're really making progress here throughout the week. So we got the engine in on Sunday. We just happened to have a lot of time, and then we got it fired by Tuesday. And absolutely no issues. All the lines were hooked up. We didn't have any leaks, and that's one of the main reasons why we always want to fire the car, especially in a situation like that, just to double check our work. So getting the engine in was probably our biggest project of the week, which we've done that so much as of recent, and honestly since we've started, that it really wasn't that big of a deal. Got it in, got it fired, and now it was time to get the race car loaded before we head north. Well, the 18T is all loaded up and ready for another trip north in 2021. I remember watching an interview a couple years back, and I believe it was with Donnie Schatz, and he was kind of comparing NASCAR to the World of Outlaws and just dirt racing in general. And I remember him saying, you know, NASCAR is almost just so far-fetched for most people. It's almost hard to relate to it. There's, you know, 43 spots and only 43 chances to be in a car. And even if you add with like the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series, you know, there's still maybe less than 100 chances, you know, to compete in a NASCAR race on a weekly basis. But with the World of Outlaws, they are a touring series, and if you think you have what it takes to beat the best or be better than the full-time Outlaw guys, which there's 13 of them, you can choose to load up your equipment like our team is doing and go run with them at certain tracks, maybe in your local area, or you could go try to hit a certain swing during the speed weeks. So it is going to be a blast, a dream come true, and hopefully everything I thought it was going to be. Watching the World of Outlaws as a kid, playing the video game, watching highlights all the time on YouTube, you just dream of one day just getting to run one race with them, and this weekend we are going to be doing 4. So like I said, the 18T is all loaded up. Also have everything tied down up here. Now, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous. The one good thing about, I guess, the Pacific Northwest swing, well, not the good thing, but for someone like myself who is still learning in the 410 ranks and is not as experienced as most, is I think we're just going to have enough for a full field every night, which is maybe around 20 to 24 cars. So that means I'll hopefully, you know, I'll get to run the A main event and get all the laps, which is going to be so valuable because I need to run with these guys as much as possible. And that's very similar to that last swing we did with the All-Star Circuit of Champions, where there was only around 23 to 24 cars each night and they rarely had a B. So I feel it's going to be no different than really running with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Another thing I forget is that we ran my first 410 race down at Arizona at the Wild Wing Shootout, and we had Aaron Reitzel down there, Donnie Schatz, Tony Stewart, and plenty of other Outlaw contenders and guys that can win Outlaw and All-Star races. So it's not my complete first rodeo, but technically it will be my first Outlaw show. So the trailer's all loaded up, we got our bags packed, and we're ready to run with officially the best in the world. So as I said in the last clip, I actually don't feel super nervous right now. I'm sure as we get a little bit closer to race day, and once we're sitting in the motorhome or sitting in the trailer just hours before hot laps, that's when the butterflies will really start to kick in. But I think something that is super important to mention is this is my first time kind of racing with a big series and going to racetracks that I've been to before and have a lot of laps around. I've probably been to Grays Harbor about 5 times, and I've probably been to Skagit a little over 10, and that doesn't mean by any means I have the racetracks mastered, but at least I've seen different surfaces every single time I've went. And going to a place 5 or 10 times and then showing up there again, it gives you a lot more confidence than going to a place once and showing up again or never being to that track before. And I personally believe that was one of our biggest challenges during our season of 2021, just going to so many different new places, but also with the competition level we're up against, that combination really puts you, you know, with your backs up against the wall. But I also personally think that has helped us get better in that area and taught us so much, which is leading up to this big weekend of racing with the World of Outlaws for the first time. It's awesome that this swing is later in the year, so we've had the chance to run the 410 a bunch earlier in the season. And overall, I think it's just the best case scenario. We're heading up north to race at the Skagit Speedway, a place I've been before. We're gonna have all of our local Pacific Northwest fans and a great track with great payout. I have much more 410 experience under my belt at this point in the season, and we're only racing one state to the north of us, so in a way, I guess it feels like we're close to home. Hopefully that answered any of your guys' questions on this upcoming weekend. Now it is time to do the giveaway, and we're gonna wrap up the show. So the item that I'm going to be giving away today is actually really neat because it's custom. It is a custom tumbler made by my good friend Mallory. Her name's Mallory McGinn, and she actually runs her own business where she makes custom tumblers called Tumblers by Mal. A quick fun fact, we've been parking next to Mallory's family at the World of Outlaws for like the past 10 years. They were one of the first ever families we met in like 2009 for our first ever race down there. So here is a look at the custom tumbler, little 360 action. So in order to be entered into this giveaway, all you guys have to do is head on over to Mallory's Facebook page, Tumblers by Mal, and give it a like. And once you've done that, for step number 2, you just have to go to the comment section down below on this video, comment whatever you want. It could be about this weekend, it could be about the cup. Just in your comment, you have to use the hashtag Tumbler. And once you do that, you'll be automatically entered to win the giveaway. I'll announce the winners probably next week. And if you want to have another opportunity, because we have 2 cups, cups, you can head on over to my Facebook page, because at the same time I'm uploading this video, I'm going to be doing a giveaway over on my Tanner Holmes Racing athlete page. So thank you to Mallory for giving us these fancy cups to give away. Super, super cool that she is supporting the channel. Anyway, that is going to end this video. Thank you guys for watching. As I said earlier, an absolute dream come true to get to run with the World of Outlaws with guys like Brad Sweet, Donnie Schatz, David Gravel, the list goes on, guys that I've looked up to for years, and people I still aspire to be like behind the wheel. So this is gonna be a fun 4-day weekend. We are gonna be making the most of it. If you're gonna be up there, make sure to stop by and say hi. If you're gonna be watching, make sure to tweet at me or let me know. And if not, stay tuned for the vlogs, because I can promise you these will probably be 4 of the best vlogs I've ever put out. Exciting, entertaining, probably gonna be some laughs, some nervous moments, some stressful moments, but it's all a part of the sport we love. So I'll see you guys when we get up there to the state of Washington and when we get all the action started. See you all there. Deuces.